Hi, I'm Christopher Lewin, and the reason why I'm putting this video together today is because of the situation that's happening in Japan with the nuclear reactors. We're all aware that radiation can cause a lot of sickness and a lot of ill health. So the Japanese are well aware of dealing with radiation as they have in the past. But the thing is that we don't get told this information. And there's a story that I want to share with you today that's totally important to you. Now, it's to do with a particular product that I've been involved with for a number of years called Teslas. And we have thousands of people who wear our pendants, have our plates in their houses. Now, there's a story that I need you to know. Once you understand the story, you realize the relative of the importance to you what this means. Now, I'm going to read this story to you, and it happened back in the late 1990s. This story takes place in the Smith Dairy Farm in Fish Creek, Victoria. There had been a severe storm one night in December 1998. Lightning hit the three-phase wire in the house paddock, travelling along the wire and blowing up the pole-mounted transformer just near the house. Oil from the transformer spurted everywhere within a 12 to 15 foot radius. The state electricity supply company came out and replaced the blown transformer. The workmen who came out wore special protective suits. May 1999, the Smiths rang Carol asking for help. They had tried many different types of modalities, gemancy, etc. The Smiths explained that their chooks stopped laying within days of the blow, and in 3 weeks all their chooks were dead. The family cat developed cancer just 2 months after the incident and had their leg removed. Anyone who walked through the house paddock would become ill and suffer sweats for about 2 hours. Sounded very much like radiation sickness. The cows were always put in the house paddock when they were close to calving, but after the transformer blew, the calves were being stillborn or deformed. The whole family, including the 5 children, were unwell. After hearing all this, Carol went to the farm armed with a computerised Geiger counter and Tesla products. The average micro-rotogens, or MR/HR, the readings around Melbourne suburbs was 21 MR/HRs. But at the Smiths farm, the reading were, on 12 p.m. May 26, house paddock was 41 MRs. The 10-foot round transformer was 48 MRs. And the water tank for the animals was 43 MRs. The water tank was half an acre away from the hit site. Tesla products' 5 large plates were put in place by dowsing for the best position. After 3 hours, measurements were taken again. The house paddock was now 34 MRs. The transformer had dropped slightly to 46 MRs, and the water tank was 42 MRs. Carol double-checked by dowsing, and after making a couple of changes, left the technology in place. Returning 1 month later to read the Geiger counter readings, the house paddock was now 32, the transformer was 33, and the water tank was 35. Checks with the Geiger counter were done each month, and by December 99, the readings were house paddock 26 MRs, transformer 28 MRs, and the water tank 30 MRs. They went back to the farm in April 2005 and found everything was perfect. The family was well. People can walk through the house paddock without any problems. Cows were birthing healthy calves, and the farm is now a picture. There were 3 other farms that had lightning strikes resulting in transformers blowing up the same night as the Smiths. Tesla's products were offered to these farmers, but they refused any help. Now, just over 6 years later, 2 of those farms have died of cancer, and 3 members are battling with cancer. Now, you might be wondering how this is relevant to you. Well, Teslas have a number of products. They have a house kit that actually brings your whole house back into balance. But under the circumstances that are coming and could possibly happen, you really need to have a car plate on you at all times. If you have a car plate, this is going to dispel the effects that radiation may happen as it gets up into the upper atmosphere and settles down to where we are. If you haven't got a car plate, use a small oyster plate, which is the equivalent to a house plate, or carry a house plate around with you. This is very serious stuff. Mother Earth will fix the problem. There's not a problem with that. It'll heal just like it did Chernobyl. But the problem is now, and we don't want this affecting us. So, here is an opportunity. Read up about the Tesla products. I can only give you this information because I know how important it is. If you ignore it, that's fine. But at least I've told you, here is a technology that can help you not to sustain damaging effects from the radiation that's going to be coming our way. You'll also notice that in Japan they've been handing out iodine for people to take, and this is so that the thyroid can have high levels of iodine in it, so when the radioactive iodine is coming through, that it's not being picked up by the body. There are a number of different ways. Do the research on the iodine. Some people use Lugol's iodine, they put it on the skin, and once it's absorbed, it may take 10 hours, it may take 1 hour. But as soon as that drop fades, put another drop on, and the longer that it stays on there, the better the iodine levels. If it disappears within an hour, then it's a good indication that the iodine levels are low. Do some research on this. I'm not a scientist in this area, but I do know that just having these things and this technology in your life can make a huge difference, particularly in the dangerous situation that's taking place at the moment. I offer this information to you to help you. Yes, it costs money to buy the products. Can't give them away. But if you want to purchase them for your family, please look at our website in this area, or even go to the person who may have sent you here, or talk to a Tesla distributor. I really feel that this is a situation that we need to act in a proactive way.